Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of Iran, you suddenly found a new succession coming up. And remember in June last year, 2025, when Iran was hit and it was appreciated, Khomeini actually appreciated and said, I may be eliminated. Set of 88 members will get together to identify who will be the supreme commander. Namaskar, Jai Hind. The war in Iran continues. The US and Israel are striking. Iran is back to the wall but retaliating. So the fire is all around. And it's not only Israel, Iran in the sector, but the entire Middle East is on fire. There has been entry and exit of NATO members towards and against the United States. I want to share today the importance of succession planning. While the rating of President Trump may be at the lowest, but come November and the succession planning starts there also. So he also must be thinking his pros and cons before he actually goes in for elections in November, and for sure he knows that he is unlikely to go for the third term. But today what I am talking is the succession planning in Iran. What President Trump and Netanyahu thought that wiping out Khomeini would be the end of regime. And I think so did the rest of the world. The examples in the past proved that, be it Syria, Iraq, Libya or Venezuela. When the leader was out, the country actually got dumped. The rise of the country and the progress was very slow, and in fact they haven't still been able to come off the edge. So what happens in case of Iran? What everyone thought did not happen. What actually no one thought has happened. I'll try and open these knots in Iran. Let us understand that Iran is not a new country. It's an age-old civilization that has roots since last almost 5,000 to 6,000 years. And this civilization has thrived all along. What has changed in between is possibly the faith of people. When Islam came, and even before 1979, it was a moderate Islam, a very acceptable Islam, a growing population, growing nation, and matching and competing the world. It was only after 1979 that the founder of Islamic State, Ayatollah Khomeini, came in, and then in 1989, Ayatollah Khomeini came in, that the clergy took the power and the entire country became hardline Shia Muslim dominated country. And all the secularism, the democratic norms, the growth, the independence of speech, freedom of movement, freedom to women, feminism is no more in existence in Iran. So all those aspects were set one side, and Iran became a very strong Shia ruled country where you could not move out or take a decision without the acceptance by the clergy. So what happened on 28th morning was a little surprising. All this while, when the diplomatic talks were going on till 27th February, the third diplomatic talk in Geneva mediated by Oman was completed, Iran side said yes, there is some positive progress, but none of such information or notice or yelling came from the American or the Israeli side. They were quiet. On the contrary, 28th February morning, when no one expected, when the talks were on, suddenly the boom, they attacked. And attacked whom? By the time information trickled to rest of the world, 0810 hours, or say latest by 0900 hours in the morning, when Ayatollah Khomeini was in a meeting with the top commanders, he was hit, and lo behold, he was killed. Along with him, 8 known top leaders were killed, and later on the information is still floating that about 40 have been killed. Well, that information can be discerned and identified later. What I am talking is today succession planning. Whether it is corporate or governance or political succession planning, it is so very important. It's a buzzword in the corporate today. When I talk about leadership in the corporate, government and other institutions, I realize that succession planning has got no space. Everyone is gunning for his place, his dominance, his rise or her rise. Where is the place for succession? Succession is only when the entire organization works towards it and ensures that once the top man moves out, the next one is there to take on. In India, fortunately, we have had such a legacy wherein we have ensured that the succession planning continues, and even in the modern times you see that democracy that we have, whichever party takes over, they have a succession planning. Albeit at some places it has been found to be wanting, but that's all right, but so far as there is a plan in place. So let's come to 28th morning. Khomenei eliminated. President Trump and Netanyahu thought it's over. The war will be over in 2-3 days time, and everything will be hunky-dory, and they'll be able to take over the entire country. President Trump had appealed and told people to start working towards taking over the democracy in Iran. He said, it's your government, you all can do it. But it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Actually, it happened the other way around. After this strike and elimination of Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of Iran, you suddenly found a new succession coming up. The nation declared 40 days of mourning and 7 days of national holidays. But sure enough, the succession plan came up in sight. Something called temporary leadership council came up. And as per this, the 3 important members, the sitting president, Mr. Pezeshkian, he is one. Head of the judiciary, he is a hardliner as of today, Ghulam Hassan Mohsen Azei. He is number 2. And number 3 is member of the Guardian Council. So these 3 members are the ones who are part of this leadership council, and they would look after the overall parliament. That's 88 member governing council that is there. It's also called the Assembly of Experts. So overall the nation is governed by these 3. And remember in June last year, 2025, when Iran was hit and it was appreciated, Khomeini actually appreciated and said, I may be eliminated. And so what? And therefore that time he gave out list of 3 people who were likely to succeed. And one of them was Hassan Khomenei, another was his son Mojtaba, the third one was the previous president. So seeing all this, it was in place. The depth of the ruling elite and Iran hierarchy actually came in at this point of time. And the likely names that have come up now, which will be under consideration with the Assembly of Experts, the entire set of 88 members will get together to identify who will be the Supreme Commander. But before we really identify who is the Supreme Commander, what does he do? Understanding the role of Ayatollah Khomeini, we understand he is the superpower. He is the man wholesale in charge of the entire Iran. And everything runs through his hands. He is the supreme commander of all 3 services, the military. He is the boss of IRGC. He is the boss of PMF. He is the one who heads the entire Assembly of Experts, and all decisions, all major decisions are through him. And therefore, the importance of succession planning is so very important. Whether you call him autocrat or you call him supreme leader, they also call him the Shiite theocracy. Now this theocracy is a religious-based leadership that continues in the name of Shia Muslims. The country being predominantly Shia Muslims have followed this. And before this comes in, before the assembly of experts comes in, and before they all start establishing, something very important and interesting happened. You remember, in between, the moment it happened, one name came up very often, Ali Larjani. Ali Larjani is the Secretary of National Security Council of Iran. Suddenly you found that after Khomenei, he came to the prominence and he started giving instructions, orders and information. He is the one who told Trump that no more talks. Talks were before Khomenei was killed. They all wanted to talk. They all wanted to talk about the nuclear part. They of course did not agree for missile development and the axis of resistance. But sure enough, about the nuclear program they wanted to talk. But after Khomenei was killed, he was very stern, very clear that no more talks. Though President Trump on the other side said no, they want to talk, which is all right, it's okay, it's understand. Second member who came to prominence was Khalif. He is the parliament speaker. So these two people became the bridge between the existing governments, that's Ayatollah Khomeini, and the rest of assembly of experts. And Ayatollah Khomeini having been killed, now who will be the next was actually coordinated by these two people. And Ali Larjani has been on the forefront in talking, giving instructions, and in fact talking to media and everybody else. So now it's for the assembly of experts to identify who will be the leaders. The prominent names which are on the horizon are the names which Ayatollah Khomeini had referred. Hassan Khomeini is one. He was not in any government position, but he was a loyalist. He has been the member who supported and has been the silent advisor to Ayatollah Khomeini. He's one of the very likely. And the second is Mojtaba Khomeini. He is son of Ayatollah Khomeini. So we have to wait and watch. Ayatollah Mojtaba Khomeini again has not been on very high profile jobs. He has not been seen in the official circles or on the media or talking on behalf of the government. But these two names are in the horizon. It's time will tell. But sure enough, what we learn as leadership lesson from this particular example, this incident, at a very heavy cost, a nation losing its own supreme leader, what we learn is all organizations, small or big, must have succession planning. Business is all right, money is all right, but if your organization has to survive, if we have to grow, whether it is an individual family, the business or the governance, every organization requires number 1, number 2, number 3 and so on. In Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, we have a very strong succession planning. There's a commanding officer in the unit. His second in command is his main advisor. He helps him out in all operations, and he's also responsible for training and logistics of the entire unit. All officers, all men, they first report to the second in command before they really go to the commanding officer, and he's a big buffer between everybody else and the commanding officer. Wherever required, he is the one who actually puts in the word. So the importance of second in command cannot be underemphasized or overemphasized. It is the just emphasized role, which is so very important. I'll close it with this. If you like the idea, please subscribe and connect with me. And for more, we can keep talking, connecting and growing. I'll keep giving details of some more of this war inputs for all of us to consume. Thank you all. Jai Hind.